What's going on, everybody? I am back with another Prize Picks NBA player props video. This one going to be breaking it down, giving you guys 3 picks that you win some money over here on Prize Picks in the NBA tonight. As always, if you have not checked out Prize Picks, would highly recommend you check them out. It is a player props website and app where you can win money off of picking the over and under on things like players' points, rebounds, assists, points, rebounds, assists, fantasy score, 3-pointers made, etc. Go ahead and use that promo code KJK DFS to receive an instant match on your first deposit up to $100 today. Again, that is code KJK DFS. Go ahead and lock that in, get that free money offer, and start winning some money over here on Prize Picks with these picks today, guys. And if you are going to be very serious, I do offer premium content packages. That is linked below in the description. It is patreon.com/KJK_DFS. If you're looking to ramp up your game, you can go ahead and check that out. And if you enjoy this content, it would be greatly appreciated if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. It is free. It takes 2 seconds to do. It does greatly help me out, and I'll be helping you guys out with these videos for free all NBA season long. Trying to get these videos all up to 500 likes. If you could help me with that, that would be great. So we'll talk about it. We'll go game by game as we always do. And the first game I'd like to discuss is going to be the Houston Rockets taking on the Indiana Pacers. This game comes in with a 236 over-under. It is a 9.5-point spread in favor of the Indiana Pacers. So Pacers have a massive 122.75 implied team total. No surprise, the Houston Rockets are one of the worst defensive teams in the entire league. And they got a point guard in Tyrese Haliburton that has been producing at a very high rate as of late. You look at his fantasy point production on the entire season as far as Haliburton is concerned, putting up 1.33 fantasy points per minute. But if you look at his rate over the last 2 weeks, it has ramped up to a 1.51 fantasy point per minute rate. He's been absolutely crushing a 25.8% usage rate. That's over a 178-minute sample size using the scoring format that Prizepicks uses as far as fantasy points are concerned. How does he get the job done? Well, we know he drops a ton of dimes, but he can also get you blocks and steals, and he can do it in so many other ways. 3 rebounds, 16 assists, 1 steal, 40 points last time out. The time prior, 3 rebounds, 11 assists, 1 block, 1 steal, 29 points. Time prior, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 block, 32 points. So the assists add up really, really quick. He's playing in the mid to upper 30s. Once again, the Rockets are not good defensively, as you can see with the implied 122.75 team total that the Indiana Pacers have today. And Haliburton's been crushing his fantasy score prop, and I do have him projected to go over here once again. He's gone over in 4 of the last 5, averaging 53.9 over that last 5. Ridiculous. Put up 68.6 last time against Philly, so obviously that has a large part to do with that rate being up. But he's been a lock for pretty much 50-plus over this last 5, it seems, with this production going way up. His minutes always looking good, of course. And I've got him projected to go out there and put up right around 50 here. Once again, the Houston Rockets are giving up 42.3 fantasy points per game. The point guard starters are giving up 8.2 field goals per game, 6 assists. We know Haliburton, as you can see over these last few games, good chance he gets a lot more than 6 assists. Once again, those assist props, those assists add up really, really quick in the fantasy score department. The blocks and steals won't hurt our feelings, and he's been doing a really good job of taking care of the ball. You do get -1 for every one of those turnovers, but as you can see, 2, 3, 0, 2, 1. So definitely makes me feel really good about the prop. Do have it projected over, and I think we can be taking advantage here today with this one for sure. So pick number 1, we're going with the over 45.5 fantasy score here for Tyrese Haliburton. That will be pick number 1. Pick number 2, we're going to kick it on down to the fastest up-tempo game environment on the entire slate. There's a ton of high totals today, but the one that leads all of them is going to be the New York Knicks taking on the Sacramento Kings. This game has a 239.5 over-under. It is a 2-point spread in favor of the Sacramento Kings. And I'll kick things off with the away side in the New York Knicks and Mitchell Robinson, who's been seeing a lot more minutes as of late. He is a great fantasy point producer, especially in the scoring format that Prizepicks offers because he's a block machine. Hasn't even had a big block game. Blocks and steals are kind of right up his alley. He's played 33, 44, and 32 minutes respectively the last 3 times out. So we're seeing those minutes ramp way up. He's right around a point per minute guy as far as the fantasy point production. You can see on the season, Mitchell Robinson, 1 fantasy point per minute. He's only got a 10% usage rate, but he's a center. 27 minutes per game on the season. But as you can see, the minutes are starting to ramp way back up, mid-30s in minutes, and 1 fantasy point per minute. You do the math. Obviously, in this game environment as well, with a 239.5 total, the game is going to fly, so it should be an even better spot for him as far as, reaching his potential ceiling. But the fantasy score prop's just simply too low over here. Like I said, you do the math, a guy that's going to play in the mid-30s, 25.5 fantasy score is what they've got him set at over here on Prizepicks. The math just doesn't quite add up for him to be this low. He should be way higher. I've got him projected to go out there and put up right around 30 fantasy points. I would say, that's even a modest projection compared to his upside. Got him with a ceiling of, 36 or more here 36.1 minutes over his last 3 games compared to 29.8 minutes over 31 game sample size on the season. So we're seeing these minutes ramp way up. The fantasy score prop just has not adjusted, in my opinion. Once again, guy that's putting up 1 fantasy point per minute. If he's going to go out there and play, 32, 44 minutes. I'm not a math major, but 1 times 32 equals 32. Obviously, that's going to clear this 25.5 fantasy score. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Great game environment as well. 239.5 total. Gotta love it for sure. So, pick number 2, we're going with the over 25.5 fantasy score here for Mitchell Robinson. This guy could absolutely crush this prop tonight with his block upside as well. I talk about that all the time with him, but, I've been playing this fantasy scoring format for quite some time, going back to my FanDuel days. So I'm very familiar with the Mitchell Robinson block upside. Certainly like this a lot. For pick number 2, and then pick number 3, we're going to stick right in this game. Another guy that I think is just simply too low over here on Prizepicks in the fantasy score department. It's going to be Domantas Sabonis on the other side of this game. Once again, this is the best game environment on the slate. 239.5 over/under, highest total. It's a 2-point spread in favor of Sacramento. The game should stay close. 120.75 implied team total. And once again, we talked about Halliburton's spike up in fantasy point per minute production the last 2 weeks. Well, Sabonis falls in that category as well. He's putting up 1.42 fantasy points per minute over a 233-minute sample size. That is really, really good. You look at his production on the season, he's putting up 1.33 fantasy points per minute. So, regardless, the production's been good throughout the entire season. We're now seeing that ramp up, about 1/10 of a fantasy point per minute higher, though. And he's been crushing his fantasy score prop. As far as over his last 5, they've got his line set at 42. He's been averaging 47.1 over that last 5. How he's been getting the job done. Once again, he's a very well-rounded individual. He can drop dimes for a center. He's going to get you a lot of rebounds, those blocks and steals, and, of course, the scoring. 11 rebounds, 11 assists, 1 block, 1 steal, 19 points. Last time out, he had 6 turnovers. And still cleared by a large margin here. 48 fantasy score with those 6 turnovers. That's the only thing I will say with Sabonis. He does have some high turnover games. Let's hope that's not the case tonight, because it can certainly be irritating. But the blocks and the steals are factored in, of course, in my projection. The rebounds, the assists, the points, 14, 5, and 24 the time prior. 10, 7, 1 block, 1 steal, 23 points. So, they had 3 turnovers in this game, but you factor in the 1 block, the 1 steal. One of those is going to erase those turnovers, and then the other one, of course, is going to give you those 3 additional fantasy points. So, I still certainly do feel really good about it. My projections certainly do feel good about it. I've got him projected to go over this prop for sure. 47-plus fantasy points. He's averaging 48.9 fantasy points per game when he's well-rested. And the Knicks are giving up 9.4 rebounds per game to center starters. So there's certainly a lot of good things going on here for Domantas Sabonis. Like I said, the fantasy point production has been ramping up here as of late. And this is the perfect game environment for that to continue. So pick number 3, we're going with the over 42 fantasy score here for Domantas Sabonis. And that will be my 3 picks to get you winning some money over here on Prizepicks in the NBA tonight, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. If you have not checked the premium content packages, you can do so by visiting the link below in the description, patreon.com. And that's all for me. Wishing you guys all the best of luck on your Prizepicks NBA player props tonight, and we will see you in the next one.